Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Well, he normally garners attention for his online posts, but now the social media influencer and motivational speaker is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false.
But someone could go to Iraq and come back with post-traumatic stress disorder, right? From seeing his man get killed. But we can suffer from police brutality, but no one think black people fucking sick. From seeing their own brother being murdered in front of his wife-to-be. You don't think that traumatized a bunch of us black men in America and traumatized a bunch of black women in America, and seeing it over and over play out with no edits? But if I say something against homosexuals, my post may be blocked. But if I show you a black man being murdered live and direct with the blood and we watch his last breath, they don't block the fucking Instagram post. They don't block the Facebook post. We can see one of our own get murdered in cold blood from the very beginning to the end. We can see it in cold blood. No edit. But if I say
we were the first, we're the best, melanin popping, black girl magic, we can't be stopped, we gonna win in the end, we God's people. We guys, I know how to get y'all. It ain't hard. It's an easy script to follow. It's all emotional based. We so beautiful. We so gifted. We better than white people. They inferior. We built everything. It's easy. It's not hard. It's an easy hustle. It's an easy hustle. It's an easy hustle. I wouldn't do that, y'all. I wouldn't do that. Some of y'all can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Hope y'all can hear me. I'm turning the volume back up. Can y'all hear me? I don't know. Is it working? Now, listen, I'm all for uplifting yourself. I'm all for empowering yourself. But I'm not all for empowering yourself based on something that's false. So, for example, you can't be a queen unless you display queen-type character. So that means you can't just be a queen because you just born a queen. Even actual queens have to meet a standard. Even actual queens have to meet a standard. Y'all are just saying we're kings and queens just because we kings. No, we have to meet a standard to be that.
I'm in the club, snatching chicks. I need a real dub. Come on, ma. That ratchet shit. I'm a Brooklyn nigga. Get it crackin' shit. Hat match shirt, pants match kicks. Baddies galore. Dough drop in. She got her hands on the floor. No stopping. She just opened up the door. Ain't no knocking. She got my back to the wall, like I got no options. Now guess what the hoes on? I'm the best and I'm chosen. I'm blessed and frozen. In a dress made of latex like sex with the clothes on. Single fire drill. They copy my style. They all love the trace.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they can't create any smoke, they'll just burn you up. I have a clip here of Brother Polight letting you know his mindset and how he feels about things as they pertain to children being raped and molested. Now, Brother Polight's mentor, the person that Brother Polight views as a god, is a convicted child rapist / molester. This is the man that he looks up to this is the man that he calls a God. So we have Brother Polight admittingly worshiping a false God, and you see the results.
And someone asks me who I pray to, I pray to him, a living God. That's me, yeah. Right? And I don't believe in worshiping or acknowledging people after they've passed. I believe in acknowledging them and worshiping them while they're alive. I think too much of that is going on, but people worship the dead. My father left me age 8, yeah. And I met my mother when I was age 17. She died the week I met her. So, and all I had really was my grandmother until she passed. And then I wound up being homeless, and my life took a different course. And because of my socio-economical disposition, I was more inclined towards doing negative things like, you know, robbing, stealing, and just had the world in a whole negative outlook. Yeah. And until I read one of his books, and just his books alone changed me, you know, to the point where I realized like I was on the wrong path. And that's something that the person that accuses them of doing things, whether right or wrong, can never change from me personally.
Y'all should be able to look at somebody, talk to somebody, and within the first 30 seconds, know what type of person they are. You got to have that kind of wisdom, that kind of discernment. These are the last days. The deception will cost you your life. You need to be able to read a person immediately. We've created a culture that says it's about what it looks like, not what it is. So if a person looks the part, they are the part.
Because we think we live in a black community. People say, Brother Polight, why you leave the black community? I ain't live in no black community a day in my life. I live in white communities populated by black people.
There you go.
Because if it was a black community, we would own the banking institutions. Yeah. Okay, we will own the educational institutions, or at least have our hands in the curriculum. Okay, we will own the medical facilities. But it's not us. So this is what we mean by white supremacy. But they said that we're racist. But then I ask you, if you thought of education, the educational system, do you see black people at the head of the educational system disseminating the information via the curriculum? No, you think of the white race. If I talk about the medical institutions that come up with the drugs and the pharmaceutical companies that give us these things, do you think of black people? No, you think of white people. When you think of the judicial system, the court system, do you think of black people got their hands in this and pushing and pulling legislation? No. White people is what you think of.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually. Okay. Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny. Scientifically, we say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. I don't identify with everything he does there, much like I believe most Christians don't identify with everything their God does, because it says their God is a jealous God. And some Christians would tell you it's not right to be jealous. And some would tell you that, you know, they shouldn't be vengeful, but in the Bible it tells you Most High is a vengeful God. And it tells you shouldn't hate, but it tells you that God loved Jacob and he hated Esau. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the difference between being a proud Nubian and saying that he's innocent. Okay, that's two different people. I could be a proud Nubian because I was born in Nuwapu, but it's two different kinds of people.
Are you
got people,
Nubian, if that's the case?
I can be, but how can I be a proud Nubian if the Nubians are saying that he's innocent and I'm saying that this happened to me? So now it is. You see how we sitting down talking. That's. But see, the thing is that, you know, now is my word against the master teacher's word, and whose word is they gonna take?
I know one thing the master teacher always taught is that when you're looking at the sides of the truth, there's his side, her side, his or her side versus his or her side. But really, in actuality, it's just the truth. It's your side, their side, and just the truth.